Welcome back to We Like That podcast.
Because we like that. I'm Joe.
And I'm Calvin.
And welcome back to We Like That podcast.
Yes, we like that. Been going over this week. Love is Blind DC, season 7, guest episode 12. Life After Lockup. And the new Tyler Perry this show, Beauty in Black, episode 1.
It's fantastic.
I thought we'd watch episode 2 too.
We did, but I put 1 because I didn't know how much of episode 2 you watched. Because remember, you were like, I can't watch this. And then you kind of watched it from the hallway. So
I can get through it.
Okay.
Yeah, but episode 1 and 2. But first, time to get to all the news you know. It's time for That Happened with Joe. Skitty bop bop bop.
That's actually a nice little segue. Get all the news you know. That's interesting. Oh no, you got rid of all my stuff. That's not good.
Well, she deleted everything. I guess it's not news with Joe today.
That's not good at all.
I guess it's a hold on That Happened with Joe.
Oh, there it is. I got scared.
Skitty bop, scooty bop bop, ba doop bop.
So real quick thing on That Happened with Joe. I was trying to get back into our little Drive Easy Pass that we got. That Easy Pass. Trying to get back into that account because I got an invoice from them for the toll we took weeks ago to go watch the wrestling.
Yep.
So I was trying to get back into the account.
Yep.
Locked out entirely. Finally get in touch with chat. The chat help desk. And they're like, oh, you have to go to this different website. It's a website that's not published anywhere else. Except for the link they gave me. So I'm like, is this the link I have to go through every time I want to check the account? And they were like, yeah. I'm like, how would you be able to do that from the Easy website itself? It doesn't show it. She's like, it's not going to.
Sound like a scam to me.
It's so crazy. But long story short, we don't owe a toll. Fantastic. That's how that worked out. Okay. Into That Happened.
That's not. Okay.
What?
Cool.
Yeah. Weren't we talking about That Happened with Joe?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Confused.
Get confused with that. Okay.
Wait, I'm lost.
The toll thing threw me off.
The
toll thing threw me
What?
off. Because it's not in the notes.
You said I had to look at the notes. I looked at the notes. That's not in the notes.
That's not in the notes.
You're
So the
hilarious.
toll thing threw me off.
So the other thing,
But okay.
this is also going to throw you off. I want to talk about the fantastic wrestling match we watched yesterday between Santana Jackson and some other dude whose name I don't know.
Yes.
But we get to see Santana Jackson live and in person.
Dude that just had on black drawers.
The Haynes his way.
Yes.
Absolutely. So we went to check out Assault Wrestling Alliance.
Can I also say it was very inappropriate for the kids that were
It
there?
was, well, you know what? How come nobody wears cups? That's my question.
I don't know, but
No one wears cups.
But I was like, okay, I don't think these kids need to be seeing just balls.
I guess they're just like, well, you're going to be
Whatever.
moving around a lot anyway.
Whatever. Yeah.
But first of all, it took way too long to get to Santana Jackson. Way too long.
Did it?
Yeah. There was like, by the time Santana Jackson came out, you were like, I'm exhausted. Like that, it was so
I
late.
think I was exhausted because the guy won.
Elliot Shock, a.k.a. Static Shock, a.k.a. The current
Trash, a.k.a. Trash.
the current belt holder for something. I don't even know what it is
TV
for.
something. He's the TV champion.
But he won it.
He's the Waldorf TV champion. I don't know.
I love
He's
him.
Trash.
I love that he came and sat behind you
He's trash.
to boo you.
Don't get me wrong. He's a great heel.
He is a good heel.
He's a great heel, but he's still
good.
trash. As far as fighting goes, he's trash.
The match was interesting. Like there were some good parts to the match, but then when they stopped and he was like struggling to get the mat up to do whatever they
I
were
don't
trying
think
to
he
do.
was supposed to do that.
I don't know.
I think he got pissed and just did it anyway.
And then we got a scene out of Street Fighter.
It felt like what in the Mortal Kombat is happening right now? I was like, what is going on?
But I had to remember the last time we saw those two go at it. That was part of that dude's storyline then too. Was like there's this supernatural force that kind of controls him and distracts him, kind of thing. So I guess that's what the necklace was supposed to represent. But
The
then
fake
the
amulet?
necklace looked like a string.
Fake amulet.
I don't even know. We just saw Vega from Street Fighter come up, and he held out a necklace, and then that dude lost. And we were like,
Now that you mentioned he did look like Vega.
So I don't know.
Like Vega from Street
I don't
Fighter.
know what was happening.
Oh God, he sucked.
But the audience made it for me. That couple that was behind us, hilarious.
I still don't like. His character is offensive to me.
Who? Which one?
The
Ooga Boogas?
Ooga Booga's character is offensive to me. I'm sorry. Like Papa Shango was pushing it. Okay.
The pimps weren't. The pimp ones.
Hey, I see that on the street every day, so it didn't.
I just showed you Boogeyman. That's what that character is supposed to be like in the same face.
And that offended me too. But this one, it slightly offends me. I don't know why, but
he does come out in a. He's not saying Ooga Booga, but it's so close.
It's so close to saying Ooga Booga. Oh, and with at least he got better with his makeup. He got better with his makeup.
Yes.
But then, like, he's 2 steps from putting the bone in his nose.
He said, "I don't."
He's
it's too close.
From.
Too close.
And I can't get mad because these people probably have. I know they got like 3 or 4 or 5 different other jobs. They do this for fun, even though they might want to make it.
No, they get paid, but it is hobby. But they get paid.
And they putting their own costumes together. Like Shock finally got some new pants.
Yeah.
And I'm like, even though you got a new outfit, you still trash.
But also, they're performing for like a smattering of people. I got to give it to them because it's not huge crowds.
Which I'm like, I don't understand why people don't come out. And it's not like you got anything else to do.
It's not promoted well.
That much money.
In my opinion, it's not promoted well. I didn't even know they had been doing it until I looked on Evite. I had to specifically look for wrestling on Evite, and that's how I came across them.
Well, maybe they need to get a new management for
better PR team.
Team, something. But
it's a fun time.
They really do. They actually do a lot for nothing.
Yeah.
Like flying over the ring.
Yeah.
Flying. If I learn how to record right, I will record some great things for you people and send it to you. But I don't know how to work my damn phone, which is not even
a new phone.
The oldest phone.
It is the oldest phone
that iPhone has right now. That's still marketable, I guess.
Yep.
And I still can't work it properly. I thought I recorded the Santana Jackson Thriller thing.
Let's talk about Santana Jackson because
thought I recorded it.
Worth the $25 by itself.
When the Thriller thing started, I just had to be recording. I'm sitting there and I didn't record none of that crap.
In case you don't know, Santana Jackson is a independent wrestler. He tours everywhere, and his whole
shtick
is
Michael Jackson.
And he'll do that this is it pose on the ropes in the ring.
He does all the dances.
He moonwalks across the mat.
His finishing move is the moonwalking DDT.
Yeah.
I think I just gave it a name, but it's
when
pretty much
gets hit. He goes, "Oh!" It's hilarious.
Every time you go, "Ow! Come on!
Get off me! Get off me, Jermaine!"
Even
is this Joseph? It was hilarious.
Like, I can sure use Joseph help right now. Where are you, Joe? Where are you, Papa Joe? But yeah,
he was so good. We were so hyped for him. It was hysterical.
I also told Status Shock, take notes. That's a real wrestler. Trash ass.
Oh, and the lady wrestlers are my favorite, and we got introduced to a new one. Saskia, I'm familiar with. She goes like dark. She takes. It looks like her mouth is bleeding, but she takes these blood capsules before. I like her. That girl is awesome.
I love how she says she's too fat to be jumping to me like that.
She's too big.
She's too big to be jumping to me like that.
She was hilarious.
She's too big for that.
But it's Kobe. I forget what's the full name? Kobe.
I don't know. You got her shirt.
You talked to her.
I just bought the shirt. I really didn't have a conversation.
I did. I made Calvin go get a shirt. She was from West Virginia. I was trying to get Calvin to buy a shirt for our sometimes news correspondent, Pam. Shout out to Pam. Who's also from West Virginia. But that didn't happen. But it was a fun time. I had a ball watching all the guys flip and whatnot. I do worry about the 2 kids from North Carolina. I'm very sure one of them, his ribs are broken. Pretty sure. The way that dude was hitting him for real.
Like these slaps were like punches at times.
Oh my gosh, it was
and I'm
so
like,
scary.
he got one more time to actually not slap me and punch me in my chest. If I start slapping the hell at you for real.
But granted, they were the most talented for the night. They were flipping and flying hard off rip. They were amazing. So, but yeah, but we'll see. We also introduced to a new wrestler I had never heard of. What did you think of Bombaya? Bombaya.
Another one that was borderline made me go, oh God. He was another one, but he was cool. It wasn't that bad. It's not worse than Unga Munga, whatever that dude's name is.
We'll figure it out one day. One day.
I think his name is Unga Bunga.
So if I was their PR person, I would tell them to put posters outside the door, like a bigger than an 8 by an 11. We need like an 11 by 14, if not bigger, outside the door. Because first of all, if you were to go see this wrestling match, you would not know where you're supposed to go to get into it.
I would also put stuff in that old Pizza Hut parking lot.
Oh, signage, you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Like the lawn signs, like the plug lawn signs. Okay.
Yeah. And I would go to the mall and just put stuff
up
in the mall.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much what everybody around there hangs out at.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe at the library. Sit those 2 spots. And then maybe when they had those things in that parking lot by Lito's Pizza every once in a while, do something there. Put something there.
I would say have a bigger social media presence. They barely have one. They have a TikTok and a Facebook and an Instagram, but they don't put a lot of stuff out on any of those things at all. And again, it's a situation where if you didn't already know about them, you wouldn't know where to go find them.
Well, maybe doing that and becoming bigger makes them different. They've changed some things.
It does make me wonder if maybe the issue is their roster changes so much. The wrestlers that they have on their roster changes a lot. Like when we first started watching it, that Russian guy Vladimir was there like almost every time. He's touring right now. He's doing really well for himself. He's touring with a bunch of other groups right now. So I also wonder if that makes it harder to like try to promote the way they want to promote.
Yeah.
He said, yeah.
Yeah. But at the same time, too, you shouldn't be expecting Ric Flair to come walking out there.
Speaking of, though, MCW is another wrestling group that's out this way. They are they usually have a show down at the Firehouse in Hollywood, Maryland. You know where that is?
Of course not.
It's Southern America. It's like Pax River, going towards Pax River.
Okay.
Kevin Nash is going to be there for their next event.
Okay.
So of course it's already sold out, but the guy who did Head also was down there not too long ago. So there's somebody who's doing pretty decently. But that's another group where I didn't know about them until I typed in wrestling and Evite. But they have a bigger presence though on their socials. There's a lot more people that know who they are and come out.
All right.
They're also based out of Jessup.
All right, cool.
You said, all right, cool.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I just attend.
It was fun, and I want to go to Jingle in a Cell, which is supposed to be happening in December, which means Calvin's coming too. Yay!
As if I had.
I'm gonna get you some Elliott Shock merch, so that we can be dressed to the nines.
That'd be the first time
and support.
That'd be the first time I go to jail for arson.
You're so crazy.
I would burn it inside that place.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I would.
Y'all liar.
Yes, I would.
You're so crazy.
You're trash.
You're not trash. It's great. All right, so on to Love is Blind. Not much happening. This is the wedding episode. Technically the last of the season. The reunion is coming up next Wednesday. It was boring outside of the breakup. So we get a breakup at the very beginning of the episode for this final episode. Or I should say season finale episode. Marissa and Ramses are having a heart-to-heart conversation. Because Ramsey told her at the end of the last episode that he had been talking to friends and whatnot and was seriously questioning whether or not they should stay together.
I told you Ramsey.
Which came out of nowhere from Marissa.
I told you Ramsey just wanted the draws.
She's like, are you sure? Like, you talk to somebody and now all of a sudden you don't want to do this at all? And he's like, yeah, just the energy, the vibe. Like, he doesn't give her a straight answer at all. He just says that between the energies and not knowing where they're going to be in the future, and yaga gaga, he just doesn't think they should move forward. And she is heartbroken. This girl, like literally, Mariah Carey slides to the ground in tears, in heartbreak. And she's just repeating over and over again, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? And he's trying to comfort her, but it's not working because he just broke up with her. and did not give her a legitimate reason why. And you hear her crying and talking to her mom on the phone. And her mom is trying her best to keep that tone even. And when the producers get back to Marissa, she's just like, I don't have any words. I don't have any words. And you can tell that this woman's world has been shattered. Whatever the time frame was for her to meet him, she absolutely invested. And now it's gone. It's gone. She also talks about how she's constantly told that she has great energy when she's first meeting somebody, but that they can't handle her basically. As the more that they get to know her, they say they can't handle all of that energy.
What energy?
Her positivity is the only thing I can think of. This is the only thing I can think of. At first, they were like, "Yeah," and then they were like,
That's her fault. She keep picking dudes that are broken and can't handle
mm-hmm.
who are pretty much who are not for her and can't handle people who, I guess, happy people. She keep picking miserable people. I guess I don't know what to say.
Yeah,
because I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
No one did. No one knows.
And that's why I said this whole energy thing is BS.
Yeah.
Because your energy is not going to be good all the time.
He has been dragged online. People went and found the first fiance that he was with, because that was part of his reasoning, was like after talking to his family friends that he didn't realize how much he hurt his first wife in their divorce. And it's like, what are you talking about right now?
What's that got to do with her?
Nothing. So, but the internet went and found his first wife, and his first wife is this Asian woman that he had been with before, who's now getting remarried. So people are wondering if that's a factor into his freak out. So who knows? It's terrible. And I guess we'll see what happens in this reunion, if they even touch it or not. Otherwise, the couples that get married, spoiler, are Garrett and Taylor, who we knew were going to make it down that aisle in the first place, and Ashley and Tyler, who everybody was kind of hoping Ashley would come to her senses and break it off, but that did not happen. So now that it's been confirmed that Ashley and Tyler are married, the internet has gone crazy.
Is that the one with the girl that doesn't work?
No, that's Hannah and Nick, who already broke up. Ashley and Tyler is a situation where Tyler told Ashley he didn't have no kids. He donated sperm.
The black. Okay.
And then the internet found out that's not entirely true. Yeah. And then the baby mama came out and was like, none of that is true. And then her wife came out and was like, they both liars. So it's been a wild ride.
I don't understand why that's irrelevant. That's irrelevant to me.
The babies?
Yeah.
You don't understand why it's a big deal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he's with her. So it doesn't.
He's with Ashley, or he's with the girl from Love is Blind, right? That's who you're talking about? Okay.
So what's
the reason people are making it a big deal is that he straight up lied to that girl on TV and was like, I don't have kids. They're all basically children I donated for. I don't have any kind of familial relationship with them. And then it turned out he absolutely did.
Well, at the end of the day, she got to put up with it and figure out what she want to do.
Well, apparently the answer to that is him not talking to these kids, period.
So she doesn't want him to have a contact with his kids.
That we don't know. We don't know if it's Ashley that's pushing that narrative, or if it's Tyler who decided to just drop contact with the kids.
No, if it's her saying she don't want to have, that's crazy on her part, because they're not going to make it anyway. So I shouldn't say that. That's messed up.
They're still married to this day. So there's that.
What, a week?
No, they filmed all this last year, so they've successfully been married a year.
Yeah. Okay. 1 year. Whoop-de-doo. Talk them in, you get to like 5 or 6. Let's have a conversation there. 1 or 2 means absolutely nothing.
The reason it became a huge deal was because of that part, that he said he didn't have these kids. Turns out he did have these kids. And then everybody found out even more base housing mess with the cheatings and the threesomes and the cuckolding, and then also the wives who are lying. And then also, baby mama saying that he owes a bunch of child support and he's going to owe back child support. And other people being like, well, if you didn't file too recently, how is he owing back child support? And then other people being like, why are you filing now and haven't filed beforehand? What's going on? And then other people questioning, can you file for back child support if you didn't file initially? And then it turns out you can. So,
yeah, you can, yeah. You're just getting back child support, that's all. Don't matter when you file. You found you
It
get
matters,
paid.
depending on the state you're in, it matters to a degree. Since everything is happening in Maryland,
Uh,
he filed for custody of the children. So that might parlay into back child support if he filed for custody of these kids. And then whatever. But her saying back child support is what's confusing me. Because if he was doing everything, according to her stories, if he was doing everything he was supposed to be doing up until about February of 2023, how much back child support he owe? Maybe a year's worth?
I guess.
I don't know. We'll find out. So yeah. So that's what's going on with, and I know none of that's gonna get touched in the reunion. There's no way. There's no way Nick and Vanessa are gonna talk about this at all. So there's that. You wanna talk about the shows?
What shows?
Those shows on the
Oh, so you want to move into Tyler Perry's Beauty in Black?
sure.
So
Or do you want to do Love After Lockup?
you do Beauty in Black.
Okay.
So what IMD says the premise of the show is about two women with contrasting lives becoming connected.
Really?
One fights for survival after her mother's forces her out the house. The other runs a prosperous company.
Did not know that was what they were selling this as, because that's
But
not
then again, I kind of see it. Yeah,
okay.
because
Okay, I'll give it to you. Okay.
they pretty much following them too, really. If you look at it, so the stripper or
Because we follow Rain for a little bit. We follow Body for a little bit.
who is Body?
Body is the one that helps Rain. Well, we can break it down. I'll tell you who Body is when we start breaking it down.
Yeah,
You want
so
to kick off the first episode?
pretty much first episode is strippers and sex workers. Strippers and sex workers. Kimmy, who's the main character, is pretty much
a stripper slash
the
sex
stripper
worker.
sex worker. Pretty much how she ended up in this predicament was.
We don't find that out to the second episode though. But yeah, go ahead.
So basically, the reason she's in the predicament she's in is because her mom kicked her out of the house.
That's the second episode.
To
The
save
way the
her.
first episode kicks off, she's getting kicked out of a hotel room. She's crying. The guy that was in the hotel was like, "You're good for nothing." Blah blah blah. Then we go back to the strip club for some reason, and every person that this girl Kimmy comes in contact with hates her guts. They're like, "Move, bitch. Do what you gotta do." Nonstop.
Yeah.
Then she talks to her friend Rain, who's like, "Girl, did you get it done?" And she's like, "No." And she's crying about it. And she's like, "Girl, you got to get together because Jules wants that money. If you don't got that money, blah 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 blah."
Basically, just to get to the meat of the thing, she's pretty much doing all this stuff because she has to pay off a debt to
Jules.
Jules, who's a gangster. I guess he's a gangster.
No, he's a cop slash pimp slash maybe drug mule or drug person. But he got him out of the drug business. They're making it sound like, well, they also said his sex work stuff and the strip club stuff is his side hustle. So he's a security head. We know that because he also works for the rich family. That's Mallory. Mallory's the other woman that they're kind of doing this comparison of.
Here's my problem with. Let's just go over the episodes and I can tell.
So in the first episode, we meet Kimmy, and she's a stripper slash sex worker. She got kicked out of a hotel room because she wasn't servicing the client the way she was supposed to. She owes money to some guy named Jules. She's trying to get some validation from her friend Kimmy, who's really not giving it to her. Kimmy is concerned with getting butt implants because she wants to look like another girl at the strip club. This girl called Body,
who is Jules Bottom B, I guess.
Basically, she says she runs the girls for Jules. Kimmy though is interested in getting out of all of this, and she wants to go see Mallory talk live and in person. She goes to a conference that Mallory is hosting where she's giving away $1 million to a Black-owned business by a single mom. And Mallory's whole facade is that she's this kind of like self-made woman who married rich, very wealthy.
Yeah. Whose father-in-law is in that business too, but she didn't want to use his.
In what? Oh, the beauty business?
Yeah, he's in the beauty business too.
Okay.
but she didn't want to use his connects or use him or whatever. She wanted to stand on her own.
It's his company, but she has her own like side branch to it. Basically, she took over as the figurehead for that company. Is the whole thing. So she talks about how she started out as her own beauty brand, and then it merged into the beauty company that they have.
I thought she didn't want to. I thought she was talking about how she didn't want to do it. That's why she moved out on her own and branched out.
In her speech to the conference?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she said. Like, she didn't want to be there and do that. So she kind of told him she wanted to do her own thing and kind of branched out to start her own line or whatever.
Why would she's not a direct child to anybody in there, so why would she need to do that? She's saying that post marriage she did all that?
She's saying that's what she was saying during the conference. She was like,
okay,
what you were saying, that's what they wanted her to do.
Yeah.
But she decided she wanted to do her own thing and do her own line and like be her own woman to be independent or
right,
whatever.
But what I'm saying is she still heads up that dad's company.
She does?
Yeah, because later in the second episode,
okay.
She's like, your father doesn't trust you or your brother to run the business. That's why he has me.
Oh, my fault. Okay, continue.
But I think you're also right because she says that she wanted to earn her spot. She didn't want it just handed to her.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's all a lie anyway. It doesn't matter. But
yeah, I got you. Yeah. It's so it's pretty much like every other Tyler Perry thing. It's confusing as hell.
There's 80,000 leads.
Yes.
So buckle up.
And you, at some point, going to get a headache because you got to remember.
You're trying to figure out how these all piece together and then at the same time trying to remember who's who. Because there's so many. Because
everybody has their own storyline, can be their own story. Which I don't understand. Everybody don't need to be important. Somebody needs to tell Tyler that. Everybody.
Listen, I'm not going to tell Tyler how to do anything. I have made peace with the fact that I like it. I like his cluttered, crazy. Sometimes you can tell exactly where the storyline is going.
But
storytelling, I love it. I love it.
I understand why he kind of does that too, because then those people can branch on and have their own show, and he could just continue that character.
There's that.
That's pretty much how he did all the other ones. His TV show. That's pretty much
several TV shows. So yeah.
Well, the one with
he had the Haves and Have-Nots sisters. His first one, which was off the wall, crazy. I can't remember what it was called. Do you know what I'm talking about?
It was
they all lived in like the same neighborhood.
They all had a tour. They toured with him.
Yeah.
Oh God. I'll look it up.
He had a crazy show where everybody lived in the same neighborhood. It was supposed to be like housewives basically, but crazier. Drugs got involved. People were going to jail. People were cheating on each other. It was hilarious and a mess and great.
It's Sisters, House of Pain, the Oval Office.
Oval Office is also crazy.
Satima, Ruthless, the new one, Beauty in Black.
What's the oldest one? Scroll to his older shows.
Young Dylan.
No.
The Haves and the Have-Nots.
Right. Keep going.
If Loving You Is Wrong.
Keep going.
Better or Worse. All the Queen Men.
No. Keep
Bruh.
going. Keep going. Those are newer.
Let's show.
This show would have came out in like 2013.
Assisted Living.
No, that's
Love Thy Neighbor.
That's Love Thy Neighbor.
Love Thy Neighbor.
That was the show.
So a lot of these characters are from plays that he made. Those characters, gave them the old storyline, and they pretty much then move on and have their own little shows.
Well, Assisted Living definitely was one of those because that was Mr. Brown.
Meet the Browns used to be. Mr. Brown used to be on Meet the Browns. Then that morphed into Assisted Living, The Pains. That turned into
House of Pain.
House of Pain. So all of those are like side characters.
But those aren't shows like the show, like Beauty in Black. Beauty in Black is like The Oval Office, Love Thy Neighbor, Fatima, Sisters. It's more like kind of like more dramatized, a lot more cussing.
What I'm saying is that's why he makes every character seem important. So that if he want to do a spinoff or something, he just take that character and make a spinoff. Because all these characters, all these shows are spinoff from characters he already had and other things.
But they're like one character. Like, you know what I mean? Like House of Pain, technically, he's a Brown. He's got a connection to Mr. Brown. And then Mr. Brown had his own spinoffs. And that's really it. Nobody else from the plays, no other characters from the play have another show. You know what I mean?
That's Love Thy Neighbor. Those characters in the plays.
What character from the plays are in Love Thy Neighbor?
The grandma or the mom.
The grandma or the mom?
The mom. I gotta look up the name. Hattie's from the
in
play.
Love Thy Neighbor?
Yeah.
Oh, I think that's a different show then. That's not the show I'm talking about. Is it
Yeah.
the diner one maybe? I think that's the diner one.
Yeah, that's the diner one.
No, I'm talking about something else. Oh, I'm on my computer, which is going to make this pop. But I'm talking about a different show. He had another show that was his first foray into like being serious.
Had to been. Oh well, I don't know that one.
Because Love That if Hattie's in it, that's another comedy, not his
Yeah.
comedy shows.
Oh.
It was another like
Too Close
serious
to
drama.
Home.
But it had like these white couples in it, and at first everybody was thrown off by it because they were like,
So
"Why
then
are
it
these
has
white
to
people?"
be If Loving You Is Wrong,
I don't know if it's that one.
because that's the only one that has white people on the.
What, their poster?
Yeah.
When did it come out? I got a year next to it?
2014.
That might be it. If Loving You Is Wrong, is there a gazillion people in there as the
Yeah.
cast? Because that was the
Yeah.
other thing. There was so many people. Yep, it is. That's the show. If Loving You Is Wrong.
Okay.
That was
a lot
it.
of people like that one.
Yeah.
Oh, Otis
Yeah.
is in that one too.
Who's Otis?
The dude that plays whatever in this.
Horace?
What's his name? He plays in the Beauty.
Can't,
His
the
name,
guy who plays Jules?
Yeah,
Okay.
he's in Loving You Is Wrong as a police officer.
Okay. So in Loving You Is Wrong,
Lucian checks in. I guess his name is Lucian.
I don't know. But in Loving You Is Wrong, there was this, it was supposed to be like this quiet community kind of deal, and everybody had their own secrets, and then it spiraled. Magic came into play. It was like Passions. It became Passions. So if you like that type of stuff, it was great. It was great if you like that type of stuff. But I could understand some people being like, "No, this is too much. This is way too much."
Anyway, we got off track a little bit, but it made sense though. It's just his shows are just. I can watch. It's like
Let me ask you this: his shows, what's the other one? Dirty D. If you had to pick between those two,
Oh my God! Oh,
Dirty
jeez,
D.
Lord.
or a Tyler Perry show.
Oh God. I'm gonna have to pick Tyler Perry because he's way more established.
Here's what I'm gonna. Here's my 2 cents on the whole thing, because I know there's a lot of people that are like, "Oh, here we go with another Tyler Perry show," and that he leans on like these stereotypes and these tropes of negativity, especially when it comes to like black women, they're pimps and prostitutes.
Yes.
He does a lot of that, and a lot of other black shows tend to do that too. But my thing is, I understand that you don't want it to only be about that, but that is what gets us to watch it. Look at Power. Power is huge on Stars, and it's also about pimps and prostitutes, people who are in the drug game, all of that. It's what we react to. It's what we watch.
People think it's written better.
No, they know it's not written better.
In their mind, it's written better than in their
I
minds.
disagree, because you have a lot of people who are like, Power is way too much, and they want to boycott 50 Cent because they don't believe in 50 Cent. And these are his shows. You also have people who are like, I like the mess. I like how crazy it is. I'm gonna watch it.
All I was, my whole thing is just everybody doesn't need to be important. That's my issue. That's my issue.
So my thing is, after seeing some of the interviews that Tyler Perry has done, especially talking about a lot of people, the backlash he had been facing with the funeral one.
That the only part of the movie that was actually good was the beginning because it was crazy.
Listen, here's what I would say. I actually like that movie. I actually watched the whole thing. I didn't think I was going to really watch the whole thing. I watched the whole thing. And the reason I can watch the whole thing and probably watch the show and probably watch the other Tyler Perry shows I used to give a lot of people grief for watching, you do know what you're going to get. So if you're looking for a low stakes, something you don't have to get heavily invested in, these are those shows.
You kind of do, because that's the only way you're going to remember everything that's going on.
But what I'm saying is, because of the structure of his storytelling, you don't really need to know everybody's names.
Okay.
You just need to know what
But
trope they're filling.
everybody's important.
But I don't fault him for that. He says that his audience, the stories he writes, the characters he includes reflect his audience. That's why everybody is important. Because there's somebody who's going to make a connection to that character, and he wants to make sure everybody gets their story told. The other
Everybody ain't important.
thing I would say is that he puts on a lot of new black talent. A lot of new black actors
you
get put in his stuff.
Can tell because he doesn't want to pay good actors.
I don't think that that's a bad thing. Also, he had Taraji in here, and he's got.
Not saying he doesn't want to pay actors.
I think he wants Megan Good the highest she's ever been paid for her films.
Yeah, I think it's not that he don't want to pay.
He wants to pay them.
Pay actors. Let me not put that out there. I just think he's all about giving somebody a chance.
Yeah, and that comes with its own caveats. And I understand,
which is cool, but at the same time, you got to realize you got to surround them with actual talent. Sometimes you just can't have a cast of talented people and one talented person and think they're going to carry your show.
I don't think he expects anybody to carry his show. I think he knows exactly what his shows are.
Oh, yeah. I think he expects his writing to carry his show.
I don't think he expects that necessarily either. You know what I mean? Because, he's managed to maintain his success. I understand the gripes and how people are like, I don't know that I want to stomach this or do all of this. I get it. I understand if it's not for you. But the other thing is, when he's got a new project coming out, you hear people talking about it. Even if it's just to hate watch it.
I didn't even know. But yeah, so back to this.
Yeah.
Beauty in Black. So you were saying.
I would say episode 1, we get introduced to Kimmy. We get introduced to Rain. We get introduced to Jules. We get introduced to Mallory, who I guess is supposed to be Kimmy's yin to her yang kind of person.
Yes.
We get introduced to Mallory's husband, this guy named Charles. It turns out Charles is the dude that kicked out Kimmy at the beginning of the episode. He has a big kink for humiliating and degrading women. It's a big kink for him. I'm not sure why. Then, we found out why.
I don't understand why. It doesn't make the nut better. I don't get it.
I think it's more to show his character, if anything, like how he's kind of trapped.
A lot of times it's just to show dominance because you can't dominate the person you would.
That's exactly what it is. This is somebody who's struggling with his own identity between his father, who gave him his whole career, and his wife, who's more successful at this career. So I saw how they're trying to put that out there. But Kimmy is our downtrodden one. She's the one that's kind of been a victim her entire life and has been trying to figure out how to get out of it. Mallory, from what they're making it look like, might have come from a similar background, but figured out how to get out of it, but is also cutthroat. She's like, I'll do whatever it takes to stay out of it type of a person. And we end the first episode with Mallory running over somebody who's jogging in the rain on her private road.
That's what I'm saying. That whole thing didn't make sense. Number one. Number two, from the type of road I saw, I'm like, that's got to be somebody they know.
Calvin was like, either that's an in-law, because how else would they get there? I was like, what are you talking about? Because we didn't know it was a private road at first.
Yeah.
She was just driving on what looked like an empty road. He was like, that's like a driveway or something to her house. I'm like, there's no way. And it was. It was.
I'm like, They're going to know that person. And I'm like, first of all, I don't know how that person is not dead. Let's just start there.
So Mallory runs over the lady, leaves her in the rain. Her husband, Charles, runs over the lady. He picks up the body, puts it in the back of his car.
This lady is indestructible.
They're like, we need to get rid of the body. Mallory and Charles get in the car after they fight about it. Get in the car.
Drive to the hood.
Yeah, because they were going to drop it off at her old. She said, we'll drop it off at my old house. The car, because they wanted the car to get stolen with the body in it, and then they could blame whoever steals the car. That was their plan. So they were on their way to the hood. However, they get pulled over by these cops, or one cop, who gets Charles out of the car. Charles had been drinking and taking a lot of drugs the whole evening. So he pops positive for being on substances.
Well, drinking.
Yeah.
They gave him a breathalyzer.
Right. So he has to go, they have to go book him or whatever.
But before that, when the police pulled up, he said, I smelled alcohol. They said it saying, oh, that's, wow.
No, Mallory said, that's me.
I don't know why she said it. She should have said, I don't know why you think you smell alcohol. I don't know why you think that.
Oh, gaslight him.
Yeah. She shouldn't have said it was me. Because now, when he takes Charles out and makes Charles blow and Charles pops, she can't drive the car now.
Well, that's what happens. So Charles is about to be booked. She makes her way out of the car to figure out what's going on, and she notices like a hand raising in the back and moving to push the trunk open.
You called it. It's like, thanks for the ride, lady.
It is a thanks for the ride situation. Creep show.
Creep show. It was literally like that.
Somehow this body's still alive and moving around. So she shuts the door. She's trying to talk this officer out of it. She's calling Jules. Jules has some kind of oversight with the local
connection
police
with the
department.
local with all the police departments in America,
and manages to get Charles out of having to do anything serious with
I'll
him being
just
pulled
say
over.
in that region. I don't know.
I think it's far reaching. I think it's far reaching.
They're in a
because
Houston, Atlanta, Vegas, Detroit. I don't know where they are.
Really, Indiana. Yeah. So, the car still has to get towed though. Jules says he'll take care of it. He sends his people to go get the car. They find the car, but the body's gone.
First, they murder the guy sitting in the booth for the tow yard.
Mm-hmm. I don't know why.
Which was random.
Just because.
They go to get the car. They take the car. They find out the body's missing. So the police come to the junkyard because, hey, they killed somebody else.
It's not a junkyard. It's a tow yard.
Tow yard because they killed somebody else.
Yeah, because they killed the guard. Killed the guard at the tow yard. So they're investigating that. But when they're looking in, for whatever reason, they're looking at the yard itself, and they notice that there's a body.
They find the body. So I'm assuming.
But I'm like, is this person dead yet, or is this person still alive?
No, she's still alive.
Goodness gracious.
I think it's that dude's wife.
I wonder if she's a mistress.
Either or, somehow she's connected to the head dude. That's the way this show is working.
So
that's what it has to be.
They mention a brother, so it's either the brother's wife,
oh yeah,
or somebody's girlfriend.
Yeah,
or maybe Charles's father's wife. Maybe.
Yeah.
No, because Charles says his mother lives somewhere else, so that doesn't mean it's not his dad's wife.
Yeah,
so it could be.
Anywho,
the other people that we come in contact with, Kimmy's bestie Rain is trying to get booty implants, right? She gets talked to doing an under the table procedure by Body.
They come to her hotel or whatever.
Motel.
Yeah.
Holiday Inn. So, which is just, and it's T.S. Madison who is the surgical doctor, so that happens. But it's a touch on an actual thing that happens where nurse practitioners who are familiar with the services decide that they're going to do implants themselves on people.
Didn't that happen to somebody? They killed somebody?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. But T.S. Madison makes an appearance. I was super excited. And then she goes to give this girl. First of all, Body gets Rain liquored up before she's got to do a surgical procedure, which is terrible. That's terrible.
Your body can reject stuff while it's drunk.
It can reject stuff, but also your blood flow changes. You bleed a lot more when you're drunk. The vessels are open up a lot more, which could absolutely cause infection, especially when you're dealing with somebody who doesn't really know what they're doing and they're trying to do stuff intravenously. When Kimmy makes it back to their motel to complain to Rain about what else is happening, because Jules has threatened her life like 3 times by this point. Rain is passed out. Kimmy says she's sweaty and clammy. She's throwing up. And when she goes, she sees like bloody towels all over the floor and all these cases of foam. And when she goes to check on her friend, we can see that her butt basically is straight black, like charcoal black. And this girl's losing consciousness. So now she's got to figure out how to get her friend help. They're telling her not to take her to the hospital at all. I don't know if they're on the run, because they keep saying you'll go straight to prison. You'll go straight to prison if they catch you. They keep telling her that. But whatever. She manages to get her friend to a hospital by hailing down a taxi cab.
That's another question I have, but I'll say that for
the part of the breakdown.
Yeah.
So Kimmy, for all intents and purposes, at least for these first 2 episodes that we watched, Kimmy's still in the hospital at County. Or not Kimmy. Rain is at the hospital, but Kimmy can't go see her in case she gets flagged on camera again, which they're not in these first 2 episodes. They don't really explain why that's a problem, but okay. Also, she has to go back to Charles, which she does. She ends up kind of having to force herself to get with Charles because he wants to do all kinds of crazy stuff. But she also calls his wife on his phone so that his wife can hear all of this. And his wife is Mallory. So Mallory is dealing with her husband being a cheater.
But before that, after she does the whole giveaway, the money, and
Mallory?
Mallory gives
Uh-huh.
away all the money and stuff. She's driving back with her bodyguard and her assistant.
Yeah.
For some reason, she gets pissed because she's an asshole, and she kicks all of them out the car, and she starts driving the car herself.
She gets pissed because she's talking about all this money she has to give away, just to keep pretenses or whatever.
And the baby threw up on her dress
and ruined her dress.
Nobody told her to pick up the baby, by the way.
And she felt like they weren't consoling her the way she should have been consoled. That's why she kicks him out. So yeah.
Oh yeah, and because some lady walked up to her and asked her a question, and the bodyguard wasn't there to protect her or get the good lady out of the way.
Right.
So she kicked him out of the car. Now she's driving. She gets the call. It's her husband having sex with somebody else. She can hear them. She's not paying attention to the road, and that's when she hits the body.
The first time.
First time.
Yeah. So that's, see how we explain that? That's how the show shows it. And then
exactly.
And then we get to episode 2. Episode 2, they expand a little bit more on what Kimmy does at the strip club. I have yet to see this girl dance. She has not danced yet, but for whatever reason, she keeps getting a VIP client, and it's the same old man. And it's very evident that he doesn't have any desire to actually watch her dance. He's kind of interested in the guy that's out there, this guy named Angel. And at first, Kimmy's like, oh, I can make that a thing if you want. If you want him to dance for you, I can get him to dance for you. And if you want him to do something else, we could talk about that too. And at first, the guy is like, I would never.
Get out of my face, tramp.
Right. I am not a gay person. That's terrible. And then comes back and goes, yeah, no, I am. I am a gay person.
Can you make that happen, please? Can you make that?
Right.
Yeah,
he's like,
yeah.
This is all the money I have, and it's about like $800 if you can make it happen. She's like, it's got to be at least $1,500. He's like, I don't have $1,500. I'm on I only have a pension. I have a very small income. And she's like, I can get him to do something for $500. Let me give you this $300 back. And she's nice to him is the whole thing. And he's like, I don't think I've ever met an honest stripper. And she's like, well, here I am. And she gets things in place for him. She like takes care of this old man, tries to get this guy that he's interested in to come out. We find out she got a backstory with that dude in particular. This guy's name is Angel. This is the strangest strip club also that I've ever seen. First of all, there's all different body types to the strip club, and it's male and female at the same time.
So basically, it seems to me this strip club is everybody who's working there is trying to pay back Jules because somehow
he has some dirt on them and has managed to get them out of prison somehow. Some way.
Seems to me like, and that's my problem.
And he says they for a lot of them, at least for Kimmy, he talks about how they didn't even make it to like the courts at all. He basically was there to pick him up. We find out later he's also a cop. He's a former cop. So he was there to like pick him up, but somehow worked out a deal that they never go to court at all.
And to me, what type of cop is he where he can do all this stuff? And he's not like the captain or like the head police officer in that.
Well, it's not local police.
State.
When he picks up Kimmy and them, he's an immigration
And that further tells me he's
not immigration, DEA, drugs, right? Drug and blah blah blah.
Is he DEA? Yeah.
Yeah, DEA.
Further lets me know he's really nobody.
I don't know. Well, but this is different for you. You have an insight to how this works in real life. If you don't know, if you're off the street, you're just like, oh, he's a cop. That's really all I need to know.
Sure. They don't establish what his rank is or what he was.
Or maybe we didn't get that far because these are only the first 2 episodes.
Maybe we haven't.
So.
But he can't be that big if he was on the airplane picking him up.
Right.
So he's not that important.
I don't know. Or if he's part of a larger structure. I don't know.
So basically, Kimmy, Rain, and it's not Angel, is it?
It is Angel.
Angel,
which is the guy.
So Rain. So
we get a flashback to how Kimmy knows Angel.
Kimmy basically, when she was 17,
yes,
I guess her mother's boyfriend tried to rape her, or did he rape her?
Raped her. Successful. Yes, raped her. But he explains it as she's telling you any kind of story because she's jealous of you.
To me, what I thought happened, he was attempting to.
She said,
He got caught.
She said, I've seen you lay with her, which means more than once, which means he was successful in one of those instances.
Okay. So
and he was like, can you blame me? You need to get her out of this house if it's going to be a problem. It's basically what he tells her.
So instead of protecting the daughter, the mom's way of protecting her is like getting her out of there completely.
Yeah, because she doesn't want to let go of her reliance on the boyfriend. Yeah, that's what she does.
So Kimmy's in this Walmart.
And by let go, he means exactly that literally. Like, gets Kimmy, puts her in the car, and drops her off at a Walmart parking lot.
So now she's in a Walmart stall crying. She runs into Rain.
Yes.
Rain. They hide in between the
TVs.
The TV displays in the middle of the floor, but you see in a real Walmart, and they're hiding in between those boxes. For some reason, security doesn't look in the boxes.
Do you know how big Walmart is? It's huge,
and they're just locked up. So,
but there's sensors everywhere, and cameras. So
Rain's like, just follow me. There's certain sensors on certain aisles. You just got to stay off those aisles.
Right.
So that's how her and Rain hook up. Rain gets on one of the laptops.
Yeah, that's still connected to the internet.
Just happened to be connected to the internet and meets up with Angel. Angel
continues to talk to Shirley. Had been talking to Angel.
Well, continues to talk to Angel, and I guess she brought Kimmy along.
Yeah.
They're all on a plane, I guess, going to Atlanta.
So Rain tells Kimmy that Angel is this dude she's been talking to on the internet who is hooking her up with a guaranteed way to make more money. So she doesn't have to stay on the streets because she's been on the streets longer than Kimmy has. So yes, that results in them catching a flight. They were supposed to catch a flight to Florida from Atlanta. And they're on this plane, and we see them get caught by Jules, who's wearing a DEA office.
I don't
apparel.
Even think.
And Angel basically agrees to help Kimmy because he's like, I know you blame me for getting us caught up in this mess. And Kimmy goes, it is what it is.
They don't even establish that they had drugs on them.
No, they were talking about it in the seats. That's why I said drug mules. They were talking about what they had stashed on them.
Okay. That's why they got fucking caught. Anywho, yeah. So.
But that's who Kimmy taps on to help the old man who kind of fancies Angel. So she's like, he'll give you $500 if you do some stuff with this man, because I know you're trying to make some money on the side. The other thing is whatever money they make in this club goes straight to Jules to pay off that debt, which also has interest, so they're never paying off this debt. Anyway, so Jules reluctantly agrees. He very loudly says he's not gay, but then goes, I'm not going to do all the things, okay? We're going to do a little bit of this, maybe a little bit of that, that's it. And she's like, yeah, whatever, let's go. They go back to Kimmy's motel, because that's where the old man says he wanted to try to do this stuff, but nothing happens. Angel still gets paid, but the old man has now, launched into a coughing fit, and it's up to Kimmy to, help him kind of get back to his place, which she does. She drives his truck, she takes him back to where he's at, but she realizes that she's taking him to a mansion. And when they get to the mansion, he's immediately recognized by the security outside the mansion. And she's like, what is happening right now? Because he said he lived on a small income and all of that. She gets inside his place. He's still having a coughing fit. He's like, I need you to go into my office and get my medicine, bring it back. She's like, yeah, I can do that for you. So she's just looking at everything. She goes to the office, gets his medicine. And on her way back out, she catches the family photos. And in the family painting, she's like, one of those guys looks really familiar. And then when she turns and sees the portraits in the frames that are on this little side table, she sees Charles. Dun, 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 dun. End of episode 2.
So here's my, I guess, issues. Jules, if he's running all these things,
okay,
and he's very sloppy.
Is he sloppy?
Yeah, he is.
Is he?
What's the purpose of shooting the dude?
They were going to make it look like a robbery in case they found the body, because then they could blame it on that dude.
Whatever. He's sloppy. If he has all these things going on,
okay,
somebody's looking into him. The police, somebody.
Okay.
There's no way you running a strip club, running drugs, security for a family, killing people, covering up all this stuff, and no one's putting 2 to 2 together.
Pause. This is how Tyler Perry wins. This is how Tyler Perry wins. Calvin has just said on this podcast how he can't watch the show and he finds it ridiculous. And yet here we are. This is how Tyler Perry wins. Continue.
Okay.
Yeah. He's invested.
I don't understand. It makes no sense. He's doing too much.
Well, okay. So what it tells me, at least for the purposes of this show, is that he's highly connected. That he has access. Because he asked them, when Mallory runs into trouble with Charles and that whole body situation, he's like, what state are you in and what city? That's what he asked for. And then he asked for the badge number. So clearly he's got like connections to do all of this. And then later, when that body pops up on the scene, we note that the two cops that are also part of this investigation were the same two cops that killed that dude in the booth. So it tells me that there's a bigger conspiracy around Jules as well. The other thing is Mallory was very reluctant to rely on Jules to help them get rid of that body in the first place. That's why they took it upon themselves to try to drop it off. Because she was like, he has too much dirt on this family. So she doesn't trust him.
Which leads me to believe if you have this much dirt on all these people, at some point, these people want to get rid of you.
Well, okay, so in the Tyler Perry shows, usually it's a class situation. So Jules has all of this intel and dirt and a means to get all this on these people, but what he doesn't have is their status. That's usually what ends up it being, is that he has all that, but it's because he doesn't have the status. That's why he hasn't stepped out to do his own thing. It's why he's still working for them the way he's working for them. Because you're right. If he's able to do all of that and move the way that he's moving, why does he need to be head of security for this family at all?
And my whole thing, at some point, if you have this much dirt on everybody, these enemies talk to each other. They talk to each other. Why? We all have the same issue.
Yeah.
Let's just get rid of him.
Well, again, this is the second episode, though. So there's probably more of the story.
You're right. I am way ahead of myself.
But also invested. This is how Tyler Perry wins.
And two,
I'm in. I want to watch it.
And Mallory.
Yeah. Clearly, Kimmy's supposed to be like the good one, the one who cares about people, and Mallory's the bad one, the one who doesn't care, apparently.
But at some point, they're going to switch.
Well, okay, so I wonder if it's supposed to be like an alternate universe type thing. Like if Kimmy decided to just look out for herself and stop being like the kind-hearted person that she is. If she just decided, fuck it, I'm just going to look after me, that's Mallory. That's how I'm looking at it right now. Because there's been a lot of reference to Mallory coming up from the street and having to figure it out herself.
Her and Mallory going to end up being related.
Oh, you think so? You think they're going to end up being like sisters or something crazy?
Yeah. Because remember, when she leaves, there's a little sister there. We don't know how much time has passed between that.
You think Mallory might be the little sister?
Yeah.
They're about the same age, though.
That little girl was kind of old, too, when she left. That little girl was maybe like her teens, maybe like 10 or 11.
Okay, but what I'm saying is I think for the show's purposes, Mallory and Kimmy are supposed to be the exact same age.
Who knows? All I'm saying is there's going to be a twist above twist, because we already found like one or two twists. The lady in the road that got hit was a twist. She's somebody in that family.
Well, we don't know that yet. They've hinted that she might be.
I think she is, or she's like at least a maid or somebody that works with that family. She's something to that family.
Right. Because Jules does mention this is a private road. No one's usually on that road. Yeah. So she must be with someone, one of the family. Yeah. That's what he says.
It doesn't make, and that's like, who runs in the rain?
It was pouring.
In the pitch dark rain.
Right.
Down a pitch dark road.
Right. I don't know. But this person had a will to survive because apparently they still alive.
The will of wills.
They kicking their feet still.
She has the will of D. I don't know if you guys know anime or anything. She has the will of D.
Like Kamala Harris, she also has the will of D.
Yeah, because I'm like, she got hit, ran over. Well, she got hit and flipped over a car.
Yeah.
She was already twisted like pretzel.
Yeah.
She's moaning and groaning. The lady drives off. Another car comes and actually runs over her this time.
Yep.
Now she's a pretzel.
Yep.
He picks her up, puts her in the car. He didn't care about her limbs, her bones, anything broken. He just threw her in the damn trunk.
Yep.
That woman somehow her arms still work for her to stand there, open that trunk up.
Yes.
It doesn't
Well,
make
she does open it up. Apparently, she left that car. She
Yeah.
somehow get out that
So
car.
that doesn't make sense to me.
Well, we'll find out because I'm going to make Calvin watch the rest of this season.
And
There's only 8 episodes. We watched 2.
so that's basically Tyler
Beauty in the
Perry's
Black.
Beauty in the Black episodes 1 and 2.
So, honestly, truthfully,
I think it's
if-
a good show.
okay.
It's just everybody doesn't need to be important. Everybody doesn't need a storyline.
Here's what I would say.
Everybody doesn't need a backstory.
If you all were already watching the Dirty D, you're going to watch Beauty in Black. You're going to watch it.
Even in the Dirty D, everybody doesn't have a.
Everybody does have a storyline, Calvin. There's a
Not
gazillion
really,
characters.
there's a couple of characters that they
There's
just
a
there
gazillion
doing
characters.
stuff
No.
that means anything.
No.
For instance, the drug dealer, the supplier's ex-man, whose brother kidnapped that girl.
Okay.
They just kidnapped her. We really don't really have backstory. The only backstory we got is that he's the brother to that dude.
Oh,
That's
no.
it.
They kidnapped her because they were trying to make a point to her boyfriend. That's why they kidnapped her.
Yeah, but that's all. There's no really in-depth to their backstory or anything.
But the brother is about to be another love interest.
But what I'm saying to you, they're not important. The two kidnappers aren't important.
Well, one died.
Yeah, that's what
Oh,
I'm saying.
no, they both died.
Yeah, they're not important. That's
no.
what I'm saying.
Well, so one died, but the guy with the dreads, he is the baby father to the cop. The lady with the red hair, who's also trying to date the Puerto Rican cop,
Yeah.
that's her baby daddy. So, yeah.
What? Oh God.
Exactly.
So everybody's
Exactly.
Oh God.
Everybody has a story.
But not really. It's like the dude that just like to get was one of the kidnappers and died. He really didn't have a story. His story was to die. That's it.
Well,
I'm
but,
just saying-
but he also messed with the 2 other girls that work for the Dirty D. They had that little storyline.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they had a long storyline.
Yeah, but
they
what I'm
do all
saying, he
get like a little
wasn't
moment.
important. It seems like to me in this show, everybody's important.
I disagree. Like the body? I don't think
Well,
we're going any further with body.
I just maybe to me it's just too many main
I will
characters.
that part. I will say there's a lot of leads. There's a
too many
lot
leads.
of leads.
Maybe it's just too many leads. That's the issue.
Okay, I'll give you
Because
that.
the 2 cops, they're not important, but then they're important because they're.
But my thing is, if you think about Tyler's plays, how many people are in his cast in the plays? Think about that. A lot. There's a lot of people. But again, I'm not. I like it. I made peace with the
He
fact
writes these
that it's gonna be
shows
like
like
this.
he's writing plays.
and it works for him. And it works for him.
That's what it is.
Because guess what? I'm eating it up. I'm
That's what
watching
it is. He writes shows and movies like he's writing plays.
That's what he knows to do, and it's working. So I don't. Who's wrong for it? I don't. I understand people's gripes, and yet still talking about him, still watching his stuff. So who's it wrong for?
Yeah. So moving on to Love After Lockup, because we be here all day talking about Beauty in Black.
It's so good though. Watch it.
All right. So I think it's a good. If you like to try to put dots and pieces together, this is a show for you.
Even if it's a hate watch, if you just want to watch it to be like, this is more tomfoolery from Tyler Perry, enjoy, because you're gonna get tons of moments.
Yes.
Yes.
Now to Love After Lockup.
Yes.
We didn't go over the Zariah and Troy that wasn't in it.
No, they weren't in it.
This episode.
Right.
So Kimmy and Joey pretty much. They still haven't got the paternity test results back yet. Kim goes dress shopping with her cousin.
Yeah.
Why does this lady want to keep putting herself through this pain? Who
Tatum.
knows?
Tatum.
Her name is actually Tatum.
Yeah, her name's Tatum.
That's crazy. So basically, they're going back and forth talking about what's going on. And finally, Kim tells Tatum the news that she's not even legally divorced yet. So she's like, what are you going to do? Does Joey know? She goes, no. He's like,
You're saying she for everybody. Tatum?
Tatum goes, does Joey know? And
Kim
tells her no. She's like, what you going to think he's going to do when he finds out? Kim goes, I don't know.
Kim says she's not going to tell Joey. That's what she said. She said she's not going to tell him.
So Tatum tells her, you need to get yourself a lawyer and figure out what you need to do.
Well, because of also the paternity test situation that's happening, We still haven't got any answers about who the biological father is for her eldest son. Joey thinks it's him because it was close in line of the time frame of them messing around while she was married. So, but Kim says she doesn't want to know. She doesn't want to find out who the, who the father is. She doesn't say why. My theory is that she doesn't want to have to let go of some child support, maybe, from this ex-spouse of hers. But
Who knows?
mess.
But moving on to Bianca and Daniel. Pretty much, I guess alcohol's not that fun the next morning. Who knows? So her and Daniel's having a
Arguments
argument about.
the day
I
before.
don't even know what the argument's about.
It
Pretty much her drinking,
It started about her drinking, about him
Then
saying he's serious about his sobriety.
and then it turns to why aren't you marrying me? Why haven't you asked me to be your wife or anything?
But we got there in steps.
Why can't you get me coffee? Or this is
I
what I
understood
need.
where she is 23, he is 31. They both have the same maturity level, so we're gonna put that there. But she was clearly in the wrong about drinking and trying to get him to like drink with her. She was in the wrong. But rather than apologize for that, she decides to be like, well, what about when you didn't get me coffee? Like that's how we got there. That was how we got to that.
That was her rebuttal to that.
That was her rebuttal to try to shift the blame and be like, well, you didn't give me coffee when I asked for it. And he was like, why the fuck would I get you? Like he's like, you got 2 legs and you can go get yourself some coffee. And she's like, no, it's the principle of the matter. You know, you should want to do things for your partner. And she starts making it a much bigger deal than it actually is. He gets pissed and his voice gets raised. And she immediately goes, you can't yell at me. If you yell at me, I'm going to leave you. And we get this side story of how, like in the past, she associates raising your voice with physical violence because she's had to deal with that in other partnerships before. Which girl, what? So it's Daniel being like, I'm allowed to have emotions. I'm allowed to have feelings. She's like, yeah, whatever, but you can't yell at me. And he like takes a breath and goes, okay, we're not going to get anywhere with this. And she goes, well, I'm done talking about it, so let's just apologize and move on. And he goes, all right, you apologize. So she does. And then he apologizes. But I don't think anything was resolved. And that's how we end it with them.
They're not going to make it.
They're
The
still
end.
together. She is all over my TikTok, posting to hater comments, basically.
And he's hating every second.
Actually, he's always playing a video game. Like whenever she's posting back to them and has him in the background, he's playing a video game.
Yeah, that's how he stays sane.
It's hilarious.
Justine and Michael. Pretty much they go to see the lawyer about her getting her wills and final testament in order.
Final Testament.
Yeah. Just in case something happens.
Very interesting.
That's when Michael finds out that Justine wants her oldest daughter to take the boys. And he's like, why would you do that to her? She's young.
She's a child. He says
she's a child. She doesn't need that responsibility. Well, I don't think you can handle because you get upset and you like to high Yukin and punch and street and Mortal Kombat walls when you get upset. So instead of doing that in front of the lawyer, Michael gets up and goes outside for a walk.
I want to underline that she didn't like broach this topic with him at all before being at the lawyers. She just dropped all this bomb at the lawyers. So Michael was effectively blindsided by all of this.
So then he comes back like, my bad, whatever. We'll do. Like, do what you want to do. That's what you want to do. I don't think you should do it. I don't think that's not fair to her. Maybe you should ask her if she wants to do it or whatever. But I think you need to have a more in-depth conversation as a family.
So the lawyer brings up, it's also going to be confusing for these kids if they're all living in the same household and one person has custody of them and the other person doesn't. Like if anything happens when whoever's supposed to have custody of them is not there, you run into a lot of complications. He was like, you could do a joint custody agreement where like, so both of them, have the say so, yeah. And Justine goes, okay, well maybe that. I just think it's very interesting that she's moving forward with naming her daughter the custodial person for her kids. When we saw in the previous or at least the way it was edited in the previous episode, that her daughter wasn't on board with that, like at all. So that was hilarious to me. And then to have Michael be the voice of reason, Michael, hilarious, hysterical.
They said broke clock is right twice a day.
It just was cracking me up that Justine's like, you just don't have the maturity to do this, ma'am. Excuse me, what's happening? Hysterical.
Melissa and Louis pretty much Louis buys Melissa the 2K diamond ring
Carrot.
that she wants, but now Louis has an issue. He's working too much after not working at all.
First, talk about how he got the permission from the dad. That's
Whatever.
how it actually escalated in the show.
He got permission from the dad. We knew that was going to eventually happen.
We didn't because the dad hated him at first.
Well,
and her sister still isn't giving him any grace.
Whatever. Who cares?
She doesn't agree.
Dad says cool. So now Melissa's upset because now he's spending too much time working.
That's what she says. He's never home. They don't spend time together.
But last season he
needed a job. He needed to find a job fast. And she wanted him to have a real people job.
He turned into Jamaican and he found numerous jobs fast. Now,
so Joey is a personal trainer. He sells supplements on the side. He still works at the pizzeria, and he also does Jamba Juice. He does smoothie shakes.
But he's doing too much, apparently. So pretty much you can hear him in the background while she's in the tub.
No, she's watching a video of his.
Oh, he's doing a video. He's like, let's get up in the morning, fellas. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's get, I don't know what the hell he's doing.
It's supposed to be like an inspirational video to buy his supplements or hire him as a personal trainer. It's PR. He's doing his own public
That's pretty much all he's
work.
really doing. And Melissa can't handle it.
She's like, he has his shirt off. He never has his shirt on for these. Of course not. He's a personal trainer. He knows his audience. He knows who's going to buy his stuff.
So he gets
she's like, I just think he wants to meet new women. Are you serious?
And that's pretty much how they end. He throws pizza
at the floor.
And he leaves.
Listen, it's about time he threw this pizza on the floor. Usually he just takes it from her, with her going on and on with her accusations. I'm glad he threw this pizza on the floor.
Okay.
I think that's it, right? No, Karak and Brittany. Just kidding. Want me to do them?
Yeah.
Karak and Brittany, where we left off, they were still upset with the fact that Brittany can't travel to Texas. Karak can. Karak's no longer on probation, but Brittany still is. And Texas won't admit her to their state, she's saying, unless she has somewhere to live there, like a residency. And it can't be with another felon because Karak is another felon. So she had an aunt out that way, but apparently that's something that's not going to work out. She has to stay with an aunt that's more on the East Coast now instead. So Brittany's telling Karak, we need you to work. We got a lot of bills that are still hanging over our heads right now. Neither one of us is working because we had planned to move to Texas. But you already secured a job in Texas. You should go to Texas without me, start working. And then once we get more things settled with my probation, I come out there. Karak is steadfastly like, no, I'm not going to Texas without you. That's not happening. We need to figure out another way for you to come with me. And Brittany's like, I don't know what else we're going to do. I got to wait 45 days. Karak's like, what if we get married? Let's get married. Because then it's not you moving in with another felon. It's you moving in with your husband. And Brittany goes, okay. So they start making the moves to do this. Karak tells Brittany that she can't tell anybody. They're going to do an elopement first and then have like the real wedding later. And Brittany's like, okay. Except that Karak immediately reneges on this entirely. Tells his mentor that that's his plan, is to marry Brittany. And calls up his mom to also tell her that he's going to marry Brittany. Even though he just told Brittany not to tell anybody. It's hysterical. So Brittany does tell her bestie, though. She tells her bestie what's going on. They go wedding dress shopping. And her bestie is asking a lot of questions. Especially about like how this is going to work for Brittany. She's like, you wanted your family there. You wanted a big wedding. And now you're just rushing it because Karak said to. And Brittany's like, that's not what's happening. You know, we're supposed to be moving to Texas. Yada, yada, yada. Her bestie points out that that was also not Brittany's plan, was to move to Texas. She wanted to be closer to her family. And she's like, well, you know, Karak, yada, da, da, da. And her bestie's like, even if you marry Karak, are they still gonna let you live together? Is that how this is gonna work? You got the okay from your PO? And Brittany's like, well, we think it's gonna work. So her bestie's like, call them. Call your PO. Let's find out. And it ends. We get a cliffhanger, but we get like a little preview of a voice on Brittany's phone going, I don't think that's the wisest decision. So, which could be anything.
Basically, sounds like the person telling them, if you get married, Houston or Texas is going to see it as you trying to rig the system.
I don't know.
Just doing
Is it that?
Because you're just trying to fast track yourself over there.
I wonder if that's it. Because, I mean, technically, it would be logged that she tried to do this already with Karak twice. And it was denied twice. So technically, it's logged
Yeah,
somewhere.
so now they're trying. Yeah, so they're probably gonna see it as you trying to get married to.
Circumvent the policy,
Yeah,
basically.
and they see it as fraud,
My
so they
question
might
is,
deny you
you
again just
getting
because.
married to a newly released parolee, I don't think that resolves the issue in the way that they think it does. Because it's still two felons. It's not. It doesn't take away the felon part just because you got married. So I would be interested to see how this is going to work for them. We'll find out. That I think that's it. Oh no, Teenie and Rob. Just kidding. Just joking. There's another couple. Teenie and Rob. You want to talk about that? Or you want me to talk about
Basically,
it?
Teenie and Rob get into a fight over money.
He said that's it.
That's basically it. Teenie is spending too much damn money, and Rob's like, "Yo,
You don't work. We need you to work.
yeah, we are supposed to talk about anything over $100 together because we're in a budget right now."
Yeah.
Teenie gets attitude. Then she tries to say, "Well, you get that tattoo covered, then
He's got a tattoo of his ex fiance on his arm.
So basically, they came out with 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, you need to have a job, or if I got a job,
Teenie got to have a job, and Rob's got to get his tattoo covered.
removed. So I guess that's the way they ended that fight.
Here's what I would say. I didn't realize how much of a attitude change Teenie has at the drop of a dime. I didn't realize that.
How not?
Well, in love, what is it? Love before lockup
she
or
had
during
attitude.
lockup?
Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah.
Not really.
That mom came down, sat beside her, and they had a conversation.
What I would say then is the way that was edited, it fleshed out a lot more detail to me as to why why it escalated the way it did in that season. But after that season, it was like, oh, it's not just that. You just have a quick switch.
Yeah, she has a
Very interesting to me. To me, it was very interesting. I was like, oh, interesting. But yeah, that's it. Any other shows you watching, Calvin?
I'm trying to get catched up on the competition show Roller Jam.
I'm still confused over these judges. I'm not gonna lie.
One judge is whatever, but he does rollerblade is his passion apparently. The other guy's a figure.
Rollerblade is his passion.
Roller skating is his passion.
Okay.
I guess that's what he said.
Did he win competition?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think he probably maybe. You got to go look at the first episode when they introduced the judges and why they're there.
Uh-huh.
The white guy is an ex figure skater.
Yeah, I know who the white guy is.
I don't know.
I know him as an ice skater.
Why he's there.
How that works for roller skating.
Yeah.
Did they say why? Usually they
No.
introduce them and they say what they do.
And then they have like a celebrity judge.
Is it not Jordan every time?
No, she's the hostess.
Okay. So she like introduces and then goes like,
Yeah.
judge deliberations.
Yeah, so it's two judges, the white guy and the black guy.
And then a rotating
I know
celebrity
neither
judge.
of their names. No, what I remember if.
Uh-huh.
And then as a rotating celebrity judge. The first episode was Pepper from Salt and Pepper.
I'm so confused. I hope this show gets canceled. I'm sorry. I hope your coworker's brother wins this show, but then I hope the show gets canceled. Because I'm confused. I'm lost. There's an actual culture around roller skating. We don't got none of the figureheads from that culture in the show. No.
Who knows those people?
The other roller skaters, I would think.
Sure.
Wouldn't this be a nice platform to introduce them to everybody? I would think.
How many competition shows that you've seen where maybe one person has any link to what the actual show is about, the competition show is about?
The show I used to make you watch on HBO. The
What?
the ballroom show. I forget what it was called.
2 people. Maybe 1.
2 people, 3 people.
Who?
The host and the lady. They both were from the ballroom scene. Literally from the ballroom scene.
Okay. 2.
Legendary. That's what it's called. They were
2.
legends in that scene.
2.
And the fashion designer. He also came up in ballroom.
Okay.
That's 3.
3.
And they were and they weren't rotating. They were there all the time.
Yeah, those two guys are there all the time.
But they're not from roller culture. One is an ice skater, and one just likes to skate.
I didn't make up the damn show. You talked to me like it was my idea. Like we sat in the office together, and I came up with this show, and you were sick that week, and they put out the show with my idea, and now you're mad because I didn't cast anybody who's from the roller jam.
I am coming at you like, why didn't you discuss this with the board, Calvin?
Whatever. I had nothing to do with this.
I gave you my notes for the team meeting, and you didn't do anything.
And I took your notes and just threw them away like trash. We just want to use regular people. We need to save money.
We don't need this garbage. You're gonna do what I say.
Exactly. We need people with actual personalities to sell this show. We're trying to get it syndicated on more than one episode.
I guess I feel away because this roller culture.
And you're not even from roller culture, so why do you care so much?
Because I've learned a lot about it. And you are from roller culture. So why aren't you upset that the visibility isn't there?
Because I'm not. I wasn't riding around in circles, spinning in circles, doing steps with a group of dudes and, woo, bitch, get out the way. I wasn't doing that. I was just on the side looking for the bitches.
But what I'm saying is there's a lot of black culture associated with roller culture. And yes, it's a commercialization of it, but I thought there would be more of a presence and a nod to that history. I
hung out a lot of summers at Cascades in Atlanta.
Okay. So I thought there'd be a little more history attached to this, but that's not what's happening.
No. Sure, whatever. No.
But that's the show you're trying to catch up on?
Yeah, I just there with the ladies.
You know, I need to catch up on I think it's like Dining in Dungeon or Dinner in Dungeon or
No, I haven't watched
Delicious in Dungeon
and anime in a while. Also, there's a Netflix show. I gotta go look at it again. It just popped up briefly.
I'm gonna watch the Zodiac documentary that's on Netflix.
It's also like something with Tyson on.
Tyson the boxer?
Mike Tyson, yeah.
Oh.
That popped up.
Is it his fight with
yeah,
Jake Paul?
Talking about that, yeah.
That's gonna be lame.
And it's something.
And it's gonna end in a tie. And I'm just gonna be upset.
Something else in Netflix that I wanna see that it popped up quickly. I gotta go look at my Netflix.
Let's talk about this Jake Paul Tyson fight because it's gonna end in a draw. This man had a stroke not but a few months ago. I know everybody was excited to see Jake Paul get his ass whooped. These Paul brothers do not get their butts whooped. Ever.
I don't think Tyson's going to fight him. I don't think they're going to fight.
You think it's going to get canceled, period?
Yeah, I think it's going to get canceled.
Interesting.
They're not going to let that dude in there with Tyson.
Okay.
You can say that about any other person you put him in the ring with, that they're not going to let him lose or do anything.
That's what people were saying about, is it Holyfield? The guy that Logan fought.
I don't know who that was.
It's another black boxer who's known. He's known for his winning streak. He barely has any losses, if any.
Mayweather?
Yeah.
Mayweather was not going to lose.
He paired up against Logan Paul. Everybody thought that Mayweather was going to wipe the floor with Logan Paul, and they ended it in a tie.
No, Mayweather won.
Tie.
No, Mayweather won.
No, it was a tie, Calvin. They ended that thing in a tie.
Mayweather won.
You can feel that he won, but it's a tie.
I don't think that. I don't know.
You want me to show you?
Yeah, I don't
Since
know.
You don't believe my word
no,
as a black woman?
I don't remember because I didn't watch it. I didn't care.
I remember, and I'm telling you what it is, but you don't believe me.
That's whatever. This is not Mayweather. This is a person who, at a drop of a dime, can just be crazy. You can't control crazy.
Right.
So they're not gonna let him get in the ring because anything can flip that from just being a little sparring match or whatever to an actual fight to where somebody gets hurt.
Right.
And I don't think it's gonna be Tyson.
I don't think that's gonna happen though. I don't
think
because they make sure.
You can't make sure with Tyson. Holyfield didn't think Tyson was gonna bite his ear off.
But that was Tyson in his prime. He just suffered a stroke. What I'm
saying to you is, you don't the mental part of Tyson, they can't control that.
Uh-huh.
So that's like putting somebody in the cage with a tagger who's been trained by Siegfried and Roy.
Mm-hmm.
Just because the tagger was trained by Siegfried and Roy, don't mean that.
Mayweather, Logan Paul, no exhibition, no winner declared.
Okay.
But that's what I'm saying. They had a contract where Logan couldn't lose. That's why no winner was declared. That's why it was a tie. They built that into the contract, and it was timed for 8 minutes.
Whatever. Anywho, like I said,
that I think
that's
the same thing's going to happen with Jake.
You can't.
It's classified as an exhibition match. It's not classified as anything else.
I get that, but he's unpredictable.
He can still be unpredictable and still end up in a tie.
Not if your head ain't on your body. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know why you think he has the same strength from when he was in his 30s. I'll even say his 50s. You know how old Tyson is now?
Okay. One thing that.
Well, I'm just glad we have this recorded so that when the fight actually happens,
I don't care,
and it ends as an exhibition tie.
What I'm saying,
I'm going to replay this to you.
What I'm saying to you is, he's unpredictable.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. You can do something with Mayweather because Mayweather, you know Mayweather's mindset.
Uh-huh.
Mayweather's not going to try to take your head off. Or if Mayweather gets mad, he's not going to try to take your head off or try to bite you or headbutt you or do something crazy. Tyson, on the other hand, you don't know. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know. He can be in there sparring and act like it's a sparring match 1 second, and then Logan Paul can say something or do something or trigger something, and Mike can change that quick, and now he's that animal that just want to kill you. You don't know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying you're wrong if they're saying it's going to end up in a tie and they say a tie. I'm saying you can't control what happens in between that ring once they're in there, because Tyson can flip the script and just go off script.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to script the one with that dude and Mayweather, because Mayweather probably put in his thing too. I ain't losing.
Mm-hmm.
So you can script that.
This fight is going to have 8 rounds of 2 minutes each.
So I'm just saying, I don't know. He might want to talk to his people again. I don't think that fight's going to happen.
This is 2 decades after his retirement.
I don't think that fight's going to happen. That dude still got power.
Oh, he's only 58.
He still got power. Like,
I definitely thought he was like in his 70s. He's
no.
only 58.
You can look at George Foreman. George Foreman still probably, I ain't saying he got all his power from his young days. He still got something.
Uh-huh.
He hit you the right way, you going to feel that shit.
Uh-huh.
That's what I'm saying. And he still got some of the speed. I'm just saying he's unpredictable. That's all. That's what I'm mainly saying.
Mm-hmm.
He's unpredictable.
I don't think they're going to let Jake Paul lose, though. I don't think that's going to happen.
And what I'm saying to you is, even though that might be true, if something happens in that ring, and Tyson, for whatever reason, goes left,
okay,
they're gonna have to jump in that ring.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna have to happen. Same thing when he was fighting Holyfield. Did nobody know he was gonna bite the shit out of Holyfield? Yeah,
but he's famously said that his mindset, especially during the Holyfield situation, it wasn't in a good place at all. He's in a much better place.
I've seen different interviews with Tyson and Tyson talking, doing stuff. It don't take much for him to go that way.
You're saying to another place?
Yeah, it don't take much.
He also has a quick switch flip?
Yes. Yes. He has not.
I'm just saying, I think people need to temper their expectations for this fight. I understand that Tyson is a beast in the ring. I don't think we're getting a Holyfield Tyson situation.
I'm not going in there with the whole thing that Tyson's going there and just destroy him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is he's unpredictable.
Okay.
And that whole...
I'm just saying I'm not holding my breath.
That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they're going to put him on a lot of weed and all this other stuff to calm him down, to do whatever, then okay.
I'm just saying he's also 58. He also suffered a stroke.
Like I said, it don't take much. And that's another reason I don't think it's going to the match is going to go on. He just had a stroke.
Okay.
So that's another reason I don't think they're going to let him fight.
Supposedly it's going down November 15th. We'll find out. That's soon. That's soon.
I'd be shocked.
Okay.
Whatever. Anywho, that's all I got.
All right.
After Lockup.
Yo, that is so loud. Thank you for listening to We Like That podcast.
So we like that.
Go ahead and click that subscribe button. You know you want to. And rate us 5 stars. I'm Javon.
I'm Calvin.
Later, people.
And we're out.